Well, let's bring Joe on. Joe, how you doing?
How's it going, boys?
Oh, it's a going. How you doing?
Joe the
Doing well.
man, holding the rideshare guy up.
Yeah, okay.
Seriously. So Joe, he's our wonderful contributor from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and he's in his car. He's gonna go do some trips. He's been doing some trips with the new what was it again? $1.31 a mile.
I believe it's $1.28.31 per mile.
$1.28.31. Somebody in the chat says from Minnesota made $525. I'm not sure. Everybody's moving to Minneapolis now. Is that? I think his calculations may be wrong. Roulette wheel. Is that you? How do you make that kind of money? On 12-hour shift, he made $525 according to him. I don't know. We will have to straighten that out. Hopefully, you're not going to be disappointed. Anyway, so you've been driving with it for a couple of days, right? It kicked in when? On the 1st?
The first, yeah, so Sunday. Yep.
Okay. What do you see? Early impressions.
Lyft. I feel like Lyft has not reflected the new pricing. Uber definitely has to a certain extent on the longer trips, but they still like I'm gonna need top offs on both platforms, and I've seen tons of requests. I've declined a ton. I'm gonna be doing a video, putting together a video this week on my initial experience, and I'm excited to crunch those numbers to see what that top off should be. And again, it's period 3, not period 2.
Only period 3, people. It's only period 3, right?
Only period 3. Yep.
So can you tell our audience what period 3 is, Joe?
Period 3 is when you're transporting a passenger.
Okay, so you picked somebody up, butt in the back seat, going to destination. That's period 3.
Yep.
128 and 31 only applies to period 3.
So period 2, yeah, period 2 pickup mileage. That's what I want. I need to get back to. All right, I need short pickups. Like I don't want those long pickups anymore. Yep.
Yep. And the other thing is, are you going to change your behavior for that 10 seconds that you used to calculate what to reject and what not to reject and stuff like that? Are you going to do more longer trips? This may be good for longer trips.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to trying to do 10-mile or longer trips. I need to occupy that time.
Okay.
And I'll accept minimum fare rides that are, really short rides. Otherwise, the middling stuff, which I was implementing this strategy for a while, the stuff in between where I'm, 3.5 miles to pick up, 3.5 mile trip, those ones just aren't going to be worth it. They just aren't, because I'm not getting, they had reflected the pricing prior to this with that pickup mileage, but now it's like they can sort of reflect it, but they're really not going to. Plus I'm going to be getting paid, extra because of they need to reach. So I need to hit that top. I'm not going to hit that top off amount as much if I'm driving all that pickup mileage. That pickup mileage is just essentially dead mileage.
So do you think this is going to increase the wait time of passengers?
I honestly don't know. Like, I don't know how other drivers, if they're aware, like they're going to have to crunch their numbers, figure out. I mean, it's pretty simple. Like you want short pickups and you want long rides. That's essentially what you want. And you obviously want to get compensated properly for them, but there is that top off. If you're not getting paid that $1.28 per mile, 31 cents per minute, you're going to get topped off to that point. Now, if I'm completing shorter rides that are paying, maybe $2 per mile, that top off isn't going to be as much, but the shorter rides are going to pay me $6, and those are not going to be much. But
so when you talk about top off, educate our audience how that part works as well.
Yeah, so what they'll do after, I think it's a 2-week period, they'll calculate how many miles we've driven, how many minutes we've driven.
On period 3.
What's that?
On period 3.
Period 3, pickup mileage. Period 2 does not matter. They'll calculate that mileage, and then I believe they'll multiply it by $1.28, 31 cents per minute, wherever my earnings are, wherever that $1.28, 31 cents is, to reach that $1.28, 31 cents. That gap, that will be the top off if I'm not there. Now, if I'm above it, then there's no top off. But at least this first couple of days, the fares are good. They're better, I would say. Although on Lyft, they seem similar to what they were last week. So I don't know.
Lyft's algo is not ready yet. Lyft's algo is not ready yet.
So
Uber was ready already, but Lyft algo is not ready yet. But they'll catch up.
Yep.
So overall, okay, so you are going to change strategy because this is all about here. We're about the Rideshare Guy, not work harder, smarter, all that stuff, right?
Yep.
So you'll figure it out probably in about a week or so to how to adapt to the new game. I mean, you certainly don't want to work for top offs because top offs to me are a cop out. Top offs to me is returning your own money to you after borrowing it from you. I don't know, $140 billion company, taking an interest-free loan from you and then sending it back to you 2 weeks later. That's what it is to me. In California, that would Prop 22. Same thing is going to happen there. So what they may do is they may really just crush the rates, float that money for 2 weeks, but then I don't know how big of a market Minneapolis or Minnesota is, how much money it's, I mean, in California, it's huge money, but I don't know. So, so you will let us know. But what do you think? Okay, so what do you think your strategy change is going to be from what you've been doing up till the 1st of December?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's going to be those longer trips, shorter pickups. I need to, when I see those upfront fares, I need to look at that pickup distance. Obviously with Uber, I have 10 seconds to calculate that. Actually, the last 3 fares I'm driving today, the last 3 fares I just got were fantastic. I think, and that's like, it was, they were kind of just like, they weren't what I've been seeing in the past couple of days. I saw one on Uber. I gave a ride on Uber. I think it was 10 miles, 25 minutes, or no, 10 miles, 30 minutes. It paid me $25. So that's essentially $50 per hour. Now that ride, I probably have, I'd say a handful of rides I've given, maybe 40 rides. I'd say 5 of them won't need to be topped off. Otherwise, the rest of them need to be topped off. So Uber, especially on the longer rides with Uber, I've seen the rates reflected sort of. They're still not paying the $1.2831. So those are going to have to be topped off. But with Lyft, like I say, and like you said, they have not updated their algorithm. Their pricing is the same. But yeah, the top off, like I say, I'm going to be doing that video this week. I'm excited to crunch numbers and see what that top off is. But yeah, eventually, Serge, like hopefully the algorithms figure it out. And like I say, the majority of rides, all the fares, and I've declined plenty of requests. None of them are reaching the top or the top what we should be getting paid, which is the $28.31.
Well, that's what they're going to do. I mean, that's what they do in California. That's what they do in a lot of these prop states, Massachusetts now, New York State, and Minnesota. Do they top off? No, they top off. They bundle them all together for 2 weeks. That's why they take 2 weeks. I don't know why 2 weeks, but then that's what they're going to do. I mean, the math is going to be pretty simple, actually. I don't think it's that confusing, but I think what's going to happen is that I'm pretty sure when you received the ping before the December 1st, you were adding the pickup time and mile to the P2, P3, and then figuring it out how many miles, dollars to miles and stuff. Now you have to kind of retrain your eyes.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Correct. Yeah, it's all about that period 3, the actual pickup mileage. It's all about that now. Now, I mean, yeah, there'll be times where I'm out on, in a rural area where I will be okay with, 4 or 5 mile pickup just to get a ride. But if I'm downtown Minneapolis, I'm not driving 3 or 4 miles to pick someone up anymore. That doesn't matter. That mileage doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I got an email, actually 2 emails today. In fact, actually one yesterday, one today. It was from a rural area Minnesota driver. And she was complaining, saying that this is horses, you know what? And she was like, everything here is a 10-mile pickup. And, I mean, and then there aren't enough drivers. There's not enough demand, like a Tri-City area, which is always busy, right? So she goes, I'm losing here, right? Because it's 10-mile pickup, 2-mile drop-off. What good is 121 and 128 and 31, right? Well, one good thing about 128 and 31, by the way, is that each year it's going to get adjusted for inflation up.
Yeah.
So that's one good thing. The second thing that's kicking in, you guys don't have paid time off sick time, you guys don't have any of that stuff, or healthcare stipend, you don't have that either. But what's going to happen is, I think in January sometime, you guys are going to have some sort of disability insurance kicking in, okay, which is important. Meaning, the reason they put that in, Joe, is because there was a driver who was on a trip, and he ended the trip, and then he got assaulted. And it didn't. And then Uber said, well, Uber's insurance company said, we're not going to cover, the trip was over. But now they put that in the law that the duration after the trip is ended, coverage continues. So that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to, wait for your videos and wait for your, calculations, and then I'm sure you'll do a video on how you're accepting trips now versus before, right?
Absolutely.
So anything else you want to add? I mean, it's new, I know, but you've been driving with it. It seems like you're liking it so far.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I've yesterday I think I was like 80% Uber trips, just because they were reflecting the new rates more than Lyft was. I gave a handful of Lyft rides. Today it's been a little bit more balanced. I'm just interested to see how, especially when Lyft adjusts their algorithm eventually, how those upfront fares start to look. But yeah, it's like I say, it's within the first 2 days here, so I've seen some good fares. The last 3 that I've just given were really good, probably paying at least $40 per hour. They were longer trips. All trips were longer than 10 miles. So yeah, I'm just going to be on the hunt for those, and video this week. We'll probably publish it, Chris, in maybe a week and a half or something. So yeah.
One thing I always say is work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, then you may be working harder. So let's change that. Download the app, link your accounts, where you can manage your income, track your expenses, and project your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download Solo and begin to work smarter, not harder today. Link is in the description. All right, let's get back to it.
Yeah, my advice is for people in Minnesota, I know I'm going to get tons of emails saying, oh, they're not paying 128 and 31. I know I'm going to get that. I know I'm going to get countless emails like that.
Yep.
And I'm going to say, well, you're going to get it in 2 weeks. So,
yeah,
because a lot of drivers, don't pay attention to the small details, but then you will see. I mean, I'm actually, I think it's going to be an increase for driver pay. I don't think it's going to be this massive increase, but I think comparing the 128 and 31 to the rate card you had before, I'm pretty sure that's an improvement.
It should be honestly, it should be like I say, I'm interested in crunching the numbers. From what I've seen so far, it should be quite a hike. Now, what percentage that will be, I'll see. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well,
now I want to know, how is surge and bonuses going to play into effect with that rate change? Because essentially it's going to be included into your wage guarantee. So if you get extra surge on particular rides, they can just float down money on other trips, so it all equals out. So almost essentially surge and weekly quests could become irrelevant. Bingo. And actually hurt you, essentially.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a quest here. God, I haven't seen a quest here in probably months. I'll occasionally see a weekend quest, but I haven't seen a quest, and no ride challenge bonuses with Lyft. Seldom see surge or per ride bonuses with Lyft. But yeah, I mean, I can assume that they would just tie that right into, the total what we're earning, which is what it is. I mean, it's not, like I say, I'm not seeing those types of bonuses very often here, but they will tie that in. I guarantee it.
Yeah, they're going to make the money on the back end. They're going to surge it on the rider app anyway, and then they're just not going to show it to you and then tie everything into 128 and 31. And look, they're not going to lose on this. They didn't agree to this because they're going to lose. Although there were some articles I saw that, the fares are going up in Minnesota. I'm like, Jesus Christ, these journalists, bro. They have no clue what they're saying, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, looking forward to those videos, buddy. You be safe.
In my data, I think I'm gonna try and include the passenger payments as well, just to see what those passenger payments are and see how that compares. But yeah, yep.
I'm looking forward to it. Anything else to add? We'll let you go make some money.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Back to it. Back to it.
You be safe out there, and keep us posted.
I will, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Best. Joe is the best, bro.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.